You guys are gonna love this episode with Moose Math. He actually sold real estate to Thach Nguyen back in the day, and he was really caught up in the rat race, as he says, of being a retail agent, being a top producer, but became an investor in 2010. So you're gonna hear practically how he did that first deal. He has a lot of advice that people don't get what they want in life soon enough because they're not really clear with what they want. And when you're clear with what you want, the universe brings opportunities your way.
I've been selling traditional real estate for almost 20 years and investing almost 10 years. And yeah, so it's been, it's when you first get started, you get going. The first one's the hardest one.
What was like the initial investment that you made?
The first one, I actually showed it I used to sell all my deals to Thach and his wife, bring it to them first. And then.
Oh, you mean on the market or wholesale?
Off market.
So you were doing off market.
So it was, I get it. I asked the sellers if they wanted to sell it off market, and they're like, yeah, if you get us this amount of money. So I showed it to Thach and Cammy, and then we went and looked at it with my oldest daughter, and then Cammy was like, hey, Moose, if you don't buy it, and we'll buy it. And, so when she said that, I was like, shit, well, I got to figure out a way to buy this thing. And so we bought it. And ever since then, we still have it today. And ever since then, we just kept going.
Was it a property that needed work, or was it?
Yeah, it was exactly like the motto that we've been taught. Corner lot as a 2-bedroom up with 1 bathroom with an unfinished basement. And so we finished off the basement, and then we actually do have a Dodge in the back now. And it's been a great rental. And yeah.
Why is the corner lot important?
Well, there's two alleyways, alleyway going up and alleyway comes to the side, and it's just so you can, maximize on the space on when you have corner lots.
So when you say corner lot, it doesn't need to be a main road, but it can be an alley road as well.
Yeah, definitely not main road. Sometimes we prefer not main road because of the noise.
Yeah.
But this is only a block off the main road. But what was great about it is just the walkability, and it's probably what we probably call a C plus B. I would say it's probably a B neighborhood. Now, it's transitioning, but it's been great.
So you fixed that one up, you rented it out, you built an auxiliary unit in the back.
Yeah.
And the corner lot allowed access to the back unit without having a flagpole,
right, correct.
Split on the lot.
What I have in a flag lot. And it was my very first one, and I just told the architect, I said, just build me something big here. And my thought was, okay, I'm going to build, I know what I know today. And I think we built it a while ago, a couple years back. But no, I don't know today. I probably built something different. But we built a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,000 square foot detached unit with a 2-car garage.
Ooh, nice.
Because my thought was, at some point, I'm going to build another unit. It's currently garage. I was going to do it illegally, but now in Seattle, I can actually do it legally.
Convert the garage to another unit is what you're saying?
Yeah. So that one property will give me, 4 doors.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you remember what you originally bought that property for?
Paid $415 for it.
All right, and then how much work did you do to the first main unit?
I think we spent about $150,000 on the front house.
Okay, and then what did it appraise for?
I think it appraised then for like $750,000. I think the value now is probably somewhere around $900,000, $950,000.
Nice.
For the front house.
So in 10 years, it's gone from $7 to $9 or $1 million.
Yeah. I mean, we spent about
just the front house.
Just the front house.
Yeah, but you got free land that you could divide off and then build something.
Building back. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's so many of those, that's still available. So we're always on the hunt.
In Seattle, the biggest expense is the land.
Yeah, the cost of living is expensive there, but yeah, the land, you're right.
So the fact that you can break that off, it sets you so much farther ahead when you're considering that extra property in the back, right?
Yeah.
Because you get free land. You already own the land.
That's the deal. If you buy the front house at the right price and you do well on the front house, the land in the back should be, freebie.
Yeah.
It should be the no-brainer, right? But a lot of people are kind of trying to just buy the house and they're taking a loss in the front house just so they can have the land, and it's not always the best way to go about it. Yeah.
So the way to combat that is get better deals. Make sure you're not buying unless it makes sense for the front house to stand on its own for the burst strategy, for the cash flow.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is a lot of people are just now a lot more investors out there, and they're just trying to buy whatever they can. With sometimes they're overpaying.
So Thach and Cami buying properties gave you the idea to do this, and when you had an off-market deal, you were bringing to them, and they're like, "Well, if you don't buy it, we will." That probably gave you some confidence to know it was a good enough deal if they were willing to buy it at that price, right?
Yeah, for sure. And the other part, really is like for many years, is I always thought, man, I'm working I've always just want the commission. I want because I do traditional real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I can just get my 3%. Oh, well, you know what? I'll get to double it and make 6%. And I was just being I don't want to say typical agent, but typical agent just chasing the commission check versus chasing the buy and hold long term.
Well, yeah, and you made $150,000 on just the burr of the front house in equity by avoiding the commission. And then the commission would have been what, $10,000 or something?
Yeah, it was 20. Let's see, I don't know. It was like 400,000. So times 3. So I don't know, 12, 24. About 20, 24 grand or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a pretty good trade.
Yeah, and like anything else, only if I knew what I knew, I would have been doing it a long time ago.
Yeah.
And but the cool thing is at least I got started.
Absolutely. So when did you do your next deal after that?
I did it was crazy. So while I was doing that deal, I was sending postcards. This is back in 2017, and I've been doing a lot of short sales. And I got a phone call from the seller. He was like, "Man, you've been mailing me for so long, and I want to give you an opportunity to buy my house first." And it was a total fixer. I didn't have any cash, and so I brought in a partner to buy this house, and we still own it today. And the partner I brought, they're good friends. They put up all the money. What did we pay for this house? For something I forgot, but we did hard money. We bought it. We converted a 3-bedroom. We had an unfinished basement with a big backyard, and we got done because they were super nervous about buying this deal because they just work traditional W-2 jobs. But by the time we got done and refinanced, we made it $180,000 in equity right away after the renovation, and my partners got all their money back except for. We each had to put up $500 for the house, so it cost us $1,000 out of pocket for this deal.
Whoa, that's nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was especially for them, they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is actually really true." And today we still laugh about it, and we've actually had the same tenants in there the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And were they in there already, or did you select them and put them in there?
Well, it was a referral of somebody we knew.
Yeah.
And after we got done with the renovation and so forth, we just rented this family, and they've been there ever since.
Got it.
And so it's been 6-7 years now
since
they've been in there, and it's got a huge back lot, and now we're gonna figure out to build another dadu in the back.
All right, and where are you at now today total with all of your investment side of things?
I'm on my payoff phase now, so now I just want to just focus on really cherry picking what properties I'm buying, and it has to make a lot of sense. And if not, I'll either, I'm kind of working on getting more fixers, which is great, using you guys as a program, and looking for more fixers so I can fix up and then start paying off, my properties.
Why do you want to pay them off?
You can't buy peace of mind, man. You got to have peace of mind, and for a lot of people, they keep chasing, and I've been, you are who you hang out with, and I've been, drilled in my head that you got to buy rentals and hold them versus just doing a lot of flips. So most of my investments have been buy and holds, and now I want to get to a point that I want to pay off versus I can keep leveraging myself, yes, but the reality is the sooner I get majority paid off, and the sooner I'll have more peace of mind.
Yeah, that's priceless. I understand.
Yeah.
It's pretty gangster to have a portfolio that's all paid off as well.
Well, that's the goal, right? And it's more important than when you get to have stuff that you get to just keep spending time, with your family or where go do what you want to go do, and getting out of that rat race. So
100%.
Yep.
So do you have a certain date in mind, or a certain goal of retirement?
Well, shoot, I am 48 years old, and so My goal, I have an 8th grader, so I got 5 years more of the school. I got 2 of them in college, so my intention is, 55 has always been my number. But I don't want to keep adding more pressure on myself. So it's, I just said, okay, I'll be for sure done by 60, but really 55 is my number. And the reality too is like, I was taught that usually your prime earning years are between the age of 35 to 55. So you have the energy, you have the, you still, want to do life, right? So then between 55 and 65, you should really be focusing on paying off. And then 65 and on is actually when you make most of your money. So, because it's a compound. So, but the reality is I'm trying to really, I have energy, I got great health, and I'm just going to keep busting my ass.
Yeah, I absolutely get that.
And we'll knock it out.
Yeah, it makes me excited to go after things.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine just retiring, It's nice to have the option, but I just wouldn't picture myself not working.
You're probably always going to work,
Yeah.
But, you're going to work, because you want to versus have to.
Right.
So, and majority of people are stuck on the have to situation. And, I am too right now. I have to keep working and keep hustling. But there's a plan and there's a direction. And, for a lot of people, they are just going they're just going and going without really having a clear plan. So,
what do you guys do in the inner circle?
Inner circles, it was interesting because I've been fortunate. I've known Thach for a very long time.
You were in the inner circle before there was an inner circle.
I was in the inner circle before seeing the springboard. That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, Thach has been, pretty much Thach has mentored me. Been my friend, mentor, and all that ever since we started. I started real estate, back in 06, and I was resisting joining Inner Circle because I was like, I can just go ask Thach whatever I want, and there's going to be a lot of real estate people in there. What I found in Inner Circle, which makes a big difference, is that there are so many people outside of real estate are in the Inner Circle, and like different professions, from doctors to, I can't even tell, there was just all kind of people in there, and the connection of knowing other people. We're always, you're examining deals all the time, and it's just another level or layer of staying in the conversation. I think a lot of people, they get to a point they're like, oh, I know what you're talking about. I'm already doing it, and then they're out of the conversation. Like an example, I'm going to guess a lot of people say, oh yeah, I know how to go find these deals, but that's great. But if I'm not listening to your program or always in, using the program, the DealMachine, using DealMachine,
right,
and using freaking, out there using it consistently, it's like, okay, then you're not going to refine what's the best way or how to refine your list, right? And so a lot of times people are in Springboard, which is great, but then if you really want to accelerate, I've always been a learner, and so you want to keep accelerating what I'm doing,
right?
And that's probably the biggest thing is I was kind of caught off guard about how much faster I would learn.
Yeah, and when you see people who are doing such good deals, it makes you have a fire lit under your butt. As far as what I experience when I go to conferences like this, right? It's like I'm inspired by other people having success, getting out there doing it.
Yeah, I'm inspired. For me, I'm inspired. There's always going to be people above you and making more, that. But I think everything's based on lifestyle for me. So I'm inspired by what kind of lifestyle I want to live, and the clarity, and now when I look at for myself, I look at the people who are being mentored by, or I always ask for help. They're in their late 60s or 70s, and I'm picking out what type of people, and so I'm just pretty much stealing what kind of lifestyle I want to have when I'm at their age, and that's probably what's more inspiring for me now, because you're watching people already living that life that I want, that I want to have.
Mm-hmm. But I was also curious, is there anything that I could help you with? Maybe a certain type of data that you're looking for? We do have corner lots coming as a filter soon, so you can target those type of things. I always try to listen to people like yourself, so I can help out in that way. Is there anything else like that would be really nice that we could provide or go searching for?
Corner lots would be awesome. Maybe a tab that says alleys. I don't think
properties that are on an alley.
That has alleys, because I don't think you guys have a tab that says alleys or a way to just
to be
alleys.
Specific. Yeah. You want properties that border an alley directly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Because that'd be easier, because okay, wait, great, because like now you get an address and you got to look it up. Mm-hmm. Then you're zooming around to see is there an alley, and what side, if there is an alley, what side of the part of the lot there's an alley. Mm-hmm. unfinished basements.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I think that's that's one thing. And yeah, I mean, but man, you guys, I think it's
we do have a basement filter.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever used that?
There's a basement filter, but there's not an unfinished basement filter.
Correct.
Right?
So
but I don't know.
Do you always have to get a permit to finish it, or can people put up their drywall without a permit?
I mean,
because that's the only way we know is if they get permits.
Yeah, I would say yes for the fact of getting a permit. That's the right way to do it. But there's been many examples of people not getting permits.
Right.
And but yeah, I mean, I would say that's just one thing. And it can never be perfect. It's always you guys are always ongoing. But it's been great. Because I love I actually use DealMachine app even when I work with traditional clients. In my database, because like I'd go on an appointment and they're like, oh man, I got my neighbor who I can't get a hold of, or I want to talk to them about cutting out my tree, or whatever, and I go, oh yeah, I can just pull up your app, put in the address, get their information right away, right, and then give it to the my client, and they're like, oh man, that's fabulous, So, but yeah, I think that's I think you guys do a great job, man.
Thanks. Well, we'll hope to help you out with the basements and look into that as well, and the alley filter.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much for your time, Moose. I really appreciate it.
All right.
You're the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Thanks for listening to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.